guys, today I'm filming a first impression video on a very popular foundation. It is the Kat Von D Lock It Foundation, and I have the shade Light 43 Warm, which I believe is a new shade. So I bought this yesterday, and in Canadian dollars it was $42. So I have tried this foundation before. It was years ago, and I remember not liking it at all. And where this has changed packaging, and I've heard some rumors about, you know, different shades being new formulas, I figured I would give it another try. So this is the packaging. Obviously it is a new packaging, and the claims of this foundation are 24-hour wear, full coverage, transfer resistant, matte finish. So I'm first going to try it out with a damp sponge to see if it kind of shears it out, and in my opinion, like, I'm okay with that. One pump first. It actually doesn't feel as thick. This is the color Light 43. Definitely has a warm undertone. By the way, the only thing that I have applied to my skin is a moisturizer. I use the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Gel. Don't like to use a primer, and I also won't be setting this with a powder because I like to see how the foundation performs on its own. So as you can see, this side of my face has the foundation where this side of my face does not. But I do feel like this doesn't look as bad as like years past when I tried it. I only used like, I don't know, not even a full-ish pump. For me, it kind of looks like I'm wearing a high coverage powder foundation. I really like to apply thicker foundations with a stippling brush. So I'm going to kind of test it out. Although I think I ended up using less product on the side of the sponge, I think that this kind of stippling brush actually diffused the product and made it look more airbrushed. So I would say a little goes a long way if you're just doing like one thin-ish layer. So it is almost set. It's still like slightly not perfectly dry yet. So for me, it doesn't look perfect. It doesn't look flawless. I mean, you can tell that I'm wearing foundation, but it doesn't look bad. So it is sinking in a little bit to this line here. I mean, I've got like a little bit of peach fuzz on my forehead that I feel like is more pronounced. Also, this color, Light 43, is much better for me than the other ones that I've tried, because I feel like I had the very lightest one. And I feel like I've tried Light 42 and they're just like more pink toned, where this one is definitely more yellow. In a way, this foundation kind of reminds me of MAC Pro Longwear, just with more coverage. So yeah, I will let you guys know how it performs. One, if it settles funny or looks worse, oxidizes throughout the day, and two, how it held up on my oily skin. Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a look in natural light. So I think you can tell that it looks like makeup on my skin. Like, you can see the buildup there. Like, if you're thinking that this foundation is going to look natural in any way, do not purchase it. I will say that, like, once it's on there, do not rub it, because it gets like weirdly, not crumbly, but it just like separates. Like, so like I had an itchy nose, so I just like went like this, and like it went so weird right here. So I ended up just like taking a little bit on my finger and just kind of like going over my nose a little bit, and I found that actually using my finger to pat it like looked so much smoother than using the sponge or the brush. So the foundation has been on for a full 8 hours. It is much later in the day, and let's just take my glasses off. Obviously ignore the marks where they were, but otherwise the foundation actually looks pretty good. I mean, good as in it looks almost near the same as when I applied it 8 hours ago. I do have some like pros and cons. So for me, it is really long wearing. It stayed put on my skin. I felt like even though I am a little bit shiny, it didn't make the foundation separate. It did stay put. I do feel like it is transfer proof, and my oils are not that bad. I won't say it's a miracle worker for oily skin, because obviously I am shiny, whereas if I was wearing the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, I would not be shiny. For me, the cons to this foundation, for me personally, that it does look a lot like foundation on your skin. It doesn't look like skin or natural whatsoever, but I knew that when I bought it, so I think it's just like a preference thing. I'm not really sure if that's a con, because some people don't mind the foundation look on their skin if it gives them the coverage that they want, so I guess it's not really a con, but it does sit a little bit funny on my nose, and if you guys can tell, it did sink in a little bit to these lines, and then I've got like a line there that it kind of sunk into as well. The light 43 color is a really good match for me. It did not oxidize that much, and it did, I mean, it did dry a tiny bit darker, but I can't really notice, and it did not go orange, so that is a super plus. So overall, I would say I like it, but I don't love it. I probably would not repurchase it, only because I personally like a more light to medium coverage that looks a little bit more like skin. I think that this foundation would be perfect if you have normal to slightly combo skin and you really want a fuller coverage foundation and you don't mind that it looks a little bit like foundation. I don't think people with dry skin with like a lot of flakes and texture would like this foundation, and I also think people with massively oily skin, this is not really going to do all that much for you either. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helped you out, and I will see you in my next one. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Bye!